Hi, St. John's. F.M. Alexander once said, "People don't determine their futures. They determine their habits, and their habits determine their futures." I've been thinking about this quote recently, especially since in the Atik home, we've been having these conversations about habits. It's a very natural time in the year to do that. Kids are going back to school. We're kind of done with the summer, and we're thinking about going back into the program year with a little bit more structure. And you go, okay, so what are these practices that I want to put in place that are just going to help me succeed, help me live my best life? I don't know about you, but I love these moments of, I feel so hopeful. I feel like, okay, I'm turning over a new leaf in many ways. Here's some things that I'm going to try to avoid doing this year. Here's the things that I'm going to spend a little bit more time doing. And I know that for me, unless I'm really intentional in keeping those habits and thinking about how am I going to make sure that these practices are sustainable, unless I do that, I'm going to kind of shift back into the way of being that maybe I've been more comfortable with, or I have muscle memory around. So it takes a lot of intentionality to have good habits. And yet, what a gift. To be a part of a church community, we're reminded of this kind of stuff that we are talking about right now in this moment, no matter what age, what stage in life you're in, that we all have an opportunity to think about today how to maximize our time here, how to live with intentionality and mindfulness. And a lot of that happens because of the habits and the practices that we have in place. So today I want to talk about just one habit. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's come up actually in the last couple of weeks more than once around decision making. And it is the practice and the habit of not making decisions out of a place of fear. This is such an important thing, and yet sometimes in our culture we find ourselves sucked in, especially with all these advertisements and all this kind of like urgency around, you got to do this, otherwise this is going to happen. To be honest, this came up for me recently. We were in the vestry, we were talking about earthquake insurance and what level of earthquake insurance we want to have at St. John's. Now, you want to be wise, but you also don't want to make decisions out of a place of fear. So there is a beautiful balance between wisdom and doing due diligence, and then crossing over into making decisions just out of fear. And 2 Timothy, beautiful passage, reminds us, it says, God did not give us a spirit of fear, but that of power and of love and a sound mind. And I love that quote because it reminds us that, if we just kind of check our brains and we go just with the raw emotions, sometimes we can end up going in a direction where we're making decisions out of fear, forgetting that we're called to make decisions out of love. And we have a sound mind. We've been given the opportunity and the gift of thinking about the preciousness of life, and that life is most beautiful when we're living it out of love and not out of an abundance of fear. And so one habit, I don't know where this finds you today in your life, what decisions you have going on, but I will guarantee you any decision that you have before you, whether it has to do with something in your home or your personal relationships, whether it has to do with your employment or professional relationships, if it has to do with religion or with politics, whatever it is, I want to encourage you to think about, what does it mean for me to make the decision that's in front of me, to make it from a place of love and not from a place of fear. And even just asking that question is going to make you pay attention to the thing that's behind the thing. So like, what's driving the intensity of my emotions around this, or my sense of urgency? And if you sense that it's coming from a place of fear, again, we want to be balanced, because there is something about reason and being responsible. Like, those are really important things. Fear does serve a purpose, but when our lives become about making decisions just because we're afraid this might happen or that might happen, then shifting it into a place of love, like, it's just a very different orientation. So that's the habit that I want to talk about today as we re-enter the year. Whatever decisions you have in front of you, just to cultivate that practice of, I'm going to make my decisions out of love, not out of fear. I hope you found this helpful. Blessings to you as you re-enter whatever spaces you're re-entering as we step into the program year, and I will see you on Sunday. God bless. Bye.